Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome, my friends, to today's Top Deck episode 4 Historic. We are bringing a #1 Rakdos Arcanist deck. This one is by Louis Salvato. Congratulations, Louis, on winning the Insight tournament over the weekend. That was the Insights Esports. This was the 5K Historic Open. Now, this is very exciting, a very fast-paced, very new meta here with the Mystical Archives of Strixhaven, and very, very fun to be playing in right now. So we got a wide open Historic, and Louis might have solved it. I'm not going to say solved it, but there's a lot of movement going on, at least for the weekend. He did just that. So wanted to drill into this deck here today. If you got questions or comments, let me know down below. Feel free to hop on the Discord server. This list is available for you, my friends, in the details. Additionally, you can find the timestamps down there where we're going to cover this main board objective and strategy of this deck. We'll talk about your sideboard for your best of 3 matches and how to board, and then we're going to go play some competitive Magic with this deck for you here today, both in best of 1 and best of 3 here. So looking forward to that. And then maybe where this sits, well, certainly we're going to talk about and close out with where this might sit in the meta, my friends. So with that, like I said, flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video. Other great ways to support the channel down below in the details. And let's get started here because we got a lot to go through. So with this Rakdos Arcanist deck, again by Louis Salvato, taking down the weekend's events, some of the biggest pieces that we've picked up now from the Mystical Archives is Inquisition of Kozliak. This is going to allow us to look at our opponent's hand. We can remove a card with value 3 or less. That player is going to discard that card, essentially. Now, this is big because it gives us insights into our opponent's hand. Additionally, we obviously still have Thoughtseize as a staple there, and that gets above that 3 casting cost restriction. But Historic's very, very powerful, low-powered cards, so that's going to be very helpful nonetheless. We got Faithless Looting here, where we can draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. We got Flashback ability as well. Flashback here, we may cast this card from our graveyard for its flashback cost, then we exile it as well. So a very, very powerful pickup for us to dig through and look for what we need. Essentially, we're going to lock our opponents down, continue with the good old Dreadhorde Arcanist, continue to hit them, continue to take things out of their hands, play things from our graveyard. We got Croxa, we got a whole host of things that we're doing. This is really a mid-rangey deck, kind of aggro, and I say that because the reality is it's a slow moving but very, very deadly deck. It takes value over time. We're locking out our opponents from a lot of things and going from there. So this is the main board, the strategy and objective of this deck. We've talked about some of the big pickups here from this particular version now with the Mystical Archives and a lot of value that we have. So again, if you got questions or comments, let me know. Now we're going to move into the sideboard, and we're going to talk about it in terms of aggro, mid-range, and late game. So some aggro decks for you out there still today. We still have Elves. Additionally, we have some of the Selesnya Company decks. Also on top of that, we have mono red aggro, we got Gruul aggro, we got mono red goblins. Lots of things to keep an eye out. You could maybe make the case for Is It Phoenix as well, but just lots of things again to keep an eye out for there. So in this space, what we're going to do, and I should go over these for you so that you can see, obviously, let's play things like Magma Spray. We also have things like Witch's Vengeance to take out both elves and goblins. So here we can wipe the board of a certain creature type. So it's going to be goblins and elves. Makes a lot of sense. Also helpful for Aura's decks. Aura's decks, obviously, again, kind of similar to Arcanist, straddle that range between a aggro mid-range deck, depending on how we look at it, but more so on the aggro side. So very, very powerful there. Additionally, here we got Feed the Swarm, where we can get rid of enchantments. That's going to be something you're going to board in for those Aura's decks, both Orzhov and Azorius as well, that are still around. So what are you going to move out is the question. So we get a lot of those questions. And the way I would look at it is you could certainly continue with Claim the Firstborn, particularly if they have certain creatures that you want to get rid of, like with Village Rites. We just don't have as many outs in terms of sacrificing. So those are a couple of key components to remember and think through. Additionally, we want to do the direct and really just get them off the board fast. Inquisition is Kozliak helps you there too. Braid helps you there too. Really, I would look to remove less on the Claim and Fame. We're doing good on the lands at 21. Additionally, we can think about going a little bit slower on our graveyard fill if we wanted to as well. Lots of different areas for us to play and tighten up. We just want to make sure that we continue to kill those creatures in those particular aggro decks. Then we'll move into the mid-range. Some more of those mid-range decks, again, similar to this, similar to Auras. We rule aggro maybe. Is it Phoenix? Another one that we talked about. Really the Angel decks, both the Selesnya version, we got also Selesnya Company to keep an eye on. These are also counter decks at times. Rogues can be one as well. That could be an aggro bridge mid-range gap there. Per se. Additionally, we'll begin to hit sacrifice decks, Jund, and the likes as well. And then also in the aggro, I did miss the mono black aggro one too to keep an eye on. In that space, again, stuff that is more focused on creatures, we'll continue to do what we talked about before. Outside that, you're going to want to think about Feed the Swarm. You might think about Scrabbling Claws. So here, target player is going to exile a card from their graveyard. We can sacrifice it, exile a target card from a graveyard, and then also draw a card. So very powerful in the mirror match, very powerful against the sacrifice decks as well here. So big things to keep an eye out for and manage there with your mid-range lineups. Then we'll move from that to late game. A little bit different style in some of the late game stuff right now. We still have the emergence of emergent ultimatum, the emergence of Sultai ultimatum decks. We have Jeskai control decks now popping up. Additionally, things to keep an eye on are Rainbow Ultimatum. So there's certainly a plethora of things there to keep an eye on from some of those late games. We have our traditional Azorus and so forth. There, you're really going to focus on things like Inquisition of Kozliak, maybe a Braid if you need to get an artifact off the board, if they're boarding in Cage and all that fun stuff too to keep an eye on. So lots of things there. Not as much that you're really going to move in for, but just things that you can keep an eye on in terms of how you're going to board there. So we talked about the aggro, we talked about the mid-range, we talked about the late game. Now let's go pound through it and play some best of one and best of three with Luis Salvato's #1 Rakdos Arcanist deck here from our lovely Insights Esports 5K historic event from over the weekend. So let's get to it, and without further ado, we'll save and exit there. We're going to go play some competitive Magic. Like I said, we're going to go in that historic ranked. Again, some other lovely fun stuff that we did before the Mystical Archives, but now we are going to go forth and conquer with our Rakdos Arcanist deck. So it's been a while since I'd done a lift on one of these. Arcanist was certainly one that I've ran in MQ before in the past, and I think it was Luis Salvato's deck as well. So very excited to be covering this again. If you have questions, if you have comments, please let me know. Additionally, on top of that, feel free, my friends, feel free to hop on the Discord server and flip me a like on today's video. All right, a little bit different start. I'm going to keep this to show you how we can play this line because it's still going to be quick. We will pay 2 here, and I am going to use my Faithless Looting right off the bat. We'll get rid of Spark Harvest, and then we can also dump a Kroxa here. So what we can do is we're going to claim back Kroxa. We're going to use the Village Rites on Kroxa in full control, and we're going to have a super nasty turn 2. So the way this is going to work is we'll do this. We'll do our claim here. We'll pull this guy back. We'll auto pay. We'll resolve it. Now on the stack, as we're going through, we're going to village rights it and we're going to sack it. Now we'll pull out of that. Now we're going to gain a lot of value here. So the biggest thing with the L's deck, again, is being able to shut things down fast. We don't have our Witch's Vengeance here, which is exactly what we need. And Faithless Looting is absolutely going to be gangbusters in helping us find what we need in these response. So this looks more like a Bant Angel Shell, potentially, or Bant Ramp. So now this changes the game a little bit here for us. So we got to think about how we're going to do that. So as long as we can shut them out here, that's going to give us a ton of value. So we can do that. And we're going to do full control. And so we'll do this again. So we'll play our Croxa. We're going to village rights it. And next turn, we can actually get a ton of stuff going. Now, we could play this guy, we could play Fame, and then that would allow us to pull back another spell. We'd have to decide on what we want. As additional cost, cast a spell, destroy target creature or planeswalker. That might be the way to do this. So, well, no, Claim's going to be too expensive there. So we might want to actually play this, because then this will shut them out of everything in their deck here. Let's get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, because we still have one in there. We can get rid of 5. Well, let's get rid of that. We'll keep this and we'll drop a Fame for now. So now everything out of their hand's gone. We want to attack in, actually, because then that will be a discard. All right, there we go. Absolute clean board here. We're gonna go grab a red. We don't need those. We can play this. Better play. Boom. Nasty. So nasty. So you keep them locked out of their hand. We're moving on up to Diamond Tier 2 with this deck. You keep them locked out, you keep the pressure on. That does so much work there. All right, on to our next best of 1 match here. No rules. All right, no rules. Let's see what we got. So we can keep this. I can grab a red. We're playing probably a mirror match. This one's not as strong. Rogues probably, huh? So I'm actually going to start with Stitcher. It is a Rogues deck. So this will be a fun match for us. So they'll need to be able to pull things out of our graveyard, and they'll need to do it really fast. 5. They need another Thieves to get in there. And we just need to get to 4 mana. And then lock them out of their hand. So if they kill Stitcher, yeah, that's what they're going to do. We're going to want to do the damage fast. So we can do this. We'll do this like we did last time. We'll pull this back. We got a few things we can do, but I want to do this again. Want to do this. So even though we're going to get through a lot of cards here. Now again, a good board wipe is Witches. We just gotta keep locking them out and playing the top deck game. And get out of full control there. So good news, we can lock them out again. So Village Rights is what we want to keep. They don't have lethal as of right now. There they go. They figured that one out. Ooh, that's too bad. So we'll draw 2 first. And discard 2. Now, the only thing we don't have, so what we'd change again is we'd go the Witch's Vengeance to wipe the board. And additionally, a lot of the direct damage kills spells against no rules here in his rogue deck. Now we're going to play this straight up. And we'll go lands. Now my guess is they got a counter spell here. If they do, they got the game. They still got the game. So we don't have any sack. Very, very intense, low to the ground decks here. Very nice. Not much we could do. Again, needed the wiper, and that certainly would help you with the rogues matchup. Very fun, absolutely fun. So let's go ahead now and we'll play our third and final best of one match for today with our historic Arcanist deck by Luis Salvato. All right, I like the changes. All good stuff here. All right, Dan Barrett is. Ooh, I cannot start with this, and we don't start. Oh, brutal. We'll keep this. What do I want to get rid of? I'm gonna keep Dreadhorde. I think we drop Witch's Supplier actually. All right, we can start with Thoughtseize. We'll do Inquisition of Kozilek first. Tainted Pact deck. We'll get rid of the Tainted Pack. We'll do Arcanist first. So I'm doing Arcanist because I can hit him twice. Ouch. So we will do... Try it again. So Arcanist is still good here. They got to kill it. There you go. Boom, we're good. Tainted Pact, done. Dimir, Tainted Pact, out of here. All right, my friends, love it. So 2-1 in best of one today. Like I said, super fun, super healthy. Let's go ahead. We'll play our traditional historic ranked, again, an older Orzhov deck that I was doing to prep for the MQ. If you guys didn't know that, I did play in the MQ. So go ahead and take a look at that. All right, let's go ahead here and we'll play our Rakdos Arcanist deck. Love it. So far, my friends, we went 2-1 today in best of one. Very exciting. Moving on to best of three here. Flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video. Other great ways and information to support the channel down below in the details. Additionally, the Discord servers there. Lots of folks love the chat. 100 plus, absolutely insane. So thank you, everyone. Cymax, it is. Let's go after it here. We can keep this. So we'll do a lot of that similar style. We'll see if we got a mirror match. We don't have a mirror match. We have a lot different match. I don't even know what this match is. So we're going to do this. We'll start with our lovely Faithless Looting. And what do we want to get rid of? I can get rid of one of those. Do I want to get rid of a Croxa is the question. I think we get rid of a Pyromancer. Let's do it. Ooh, Abundant Harvest. Definitely a ramp deck. All right. So, what are we doing here? We're gonna do this. I'll actually do this. So it's Sultai. I should have dumped the Croxa so I had the right land play here. We're gonna rip into the story. Go with the last red. So they can counter it if they want. So either they're going to get rid of their Drown or they're going to get rid of their other card. So that's the choice they have to make. And he's going to end up in the graveyard and we're going to be able to pull back either way. So that's what we get to decide here. And what can they pull back? Creature on the draw. I'm gonna drop this. Land. I keep Blood Chiefs. We'll get rid of that. And one Dreadhorde. Now that's too bad because that would have been really nice on the Dreadhorde, which I was thinking about that too. So we can pull back Croxa. What a top deck. What a top deck. Absolutely. Claim. What else? Let's get rid of that one. And Faithless helps. Don't need that. Sultai it is. Drop that. We needed to go wide and we needed to get better lockdown in on this deck. We haven't got there. On the stack, they're gonna hit me. play it. Do we want to do that? No, I don't think so. Let's do this. Uh, 4, 5. That's a counter. There it is. Getting low. Oh, they got rogues in here too. Sultai rogues. There you go. Oh, they're gonna help me now. All right, so we need to figure out what we want to do. Let's go pull. Might have been better to block with Crocus there, but we'll find out. Ho, 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 ho. They got it. We'll go to our next one. Oh, the rogues matchup, my friends. Look at that. So it's Sultai rogues. So what we need to do here is We could definitely play that if we wanted to. Creatures of a certain type, we'll drop those. We'll drop these. We can play Claws if we want to. What did not help us as much? Fatal Push, we can pull. Kozliak, we can pull. We can go with Thoughtseize. Claim, I'm going to drop. Faithless Looting, I'll keep. Scrabbling, we'll keep one of those. It's a good way with that, though, in terms of a combo. I mean, Young Pyromancer's not going to help us a ton. I kept the Fatal Push, right? No, we want to keep a Fatal Push. Drop 2 claims. Kozliak helps. Let's drop 1 Stitcher. I think we go the 2 Braids. We'll go 2 Stitchers. There we go. Village Rights. Let's go for more Pyro. Alright, let's try this. The Braids, so if they lock us out of the graveyard, they'll lock them out though too, but at least that does the direct damage on the creatures. We can keep this. Legion's End right off the bat, huh? If they play 2 blacks here, probably Thieves. No, they didn't do it, so I got a kill spell then. Oh, do we want to kill the Merfolk Wind Robber here? We'll wait a turn. So they have enough to do Into the Story here. Which will be a lot for them. No, they didn't do it. They can grab one. They can grab one. They need to do it. But we'll fatal push it anyway. As long as they don't hit my Dreadhorde here. Alright. And these two are gone. Brainstorm. We can keep casting Faithless Looting. Pyromancer doing work for us here. There we go. Biff. Rogues it will be. We will do this. We'll pay 2. Flash this back in. Gains haste. One to go. And we'll have just enough, but we'll play this. We will play this anyway. Boom! Yes! Yes, Rogues, you're done. You're done, Rogues. This isn't as good as we needed, so we'll drop that out. What do we want? Kozliak we'll put back in. We'll add a claim. Let's do Kozliak. Lechister's fine. We don't need those. They didn't sideboard anything of value in there. All right, back to what we had here. This is better. Exile anyway. All right, let's do it. Probably could go to 2 Witches' Vengeances here. All right, Cymax. Let's see what we get. We can keep this. Don't like that, but we'll start with it nonetheless. Lots of drawn and locks. Let's get rid of this guy, though. If they want to counter, they can play counter magic. There we go. Ooh, get rid of that. And a magma spray. I'm okay with that. Blood Chief's Thirst it is. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of one of those guys. This and that. Keep. Let's get rid of Stitcher. We can grab Spark Harvest. Which is Thirst. All right, gotta lock them in here. Dreadhort's gone. That's fine. So is Titan. So it is, what's in exile? One. What do we have here? I have a Spark Harvest. So let's do this. That guy over. I could play Stitcher and my other Arcanist. Let's do... Let's go view battlefield. How many do you have? View browser. Let's do this. Boom. We did it. We locked him out. Great turnaround, my friends, with our Rakdos Arcanist deck by Luis Salvato. What a truly nice day. Good way to start out here in our first historic deck for the new Mystical Archives. So let's go ahead and take a look. Absolutely killed it. Super fun today. Had a blast. Oh, we didn't use any of the fun styles. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, to close things out here, just to summarize, best of one, we went 2-1. And then in best of three, we ended up 2-1 overall with the big win. Super fun. Great new additions from Mystical Archives, like we talked about with Inquisition of Kozliak. Additionally, Faithless Looting. We saw tons of combos, tons of ways to play through the lines here today. Super fun. We did the nice boarding there for our best of three matches. Again, showing Scrabbling Claws. We got the Witch's Vengeance out there, Magma Spray, just a house, a braid, lots of good things here nonetheless. So super excited about this deck. It's very nice, well positioned, obviously, as we saw today. So where do I think this is? I think this is borderline tier 1, tier 2 potentially here, or at least top of tier 2. But we'll see as things continue to evolve. You know, obviously things shift. They begin to hate on certain cards, but this is definitely very strong in terms of what we're seeing here today. So really like it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, this was Luis Salvato's #1 Rakdos Arcanist deck coming off the back of the Insights Esports weekend here for the 5K Historic Open, my friends. Questions or comments, let me know down below. In the details is the deck list. Lots of great information there to support the channel, ways for us to interact. So appreciate that information for the Discord server as well, my friends. So take care, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Until next time, Planeswalkers, Mythras out, and looking forward to doing some more historic content for you here too. Take care.